Hi, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, I created this. First of all, I'm real pressed because I got inches now, Beech. Anyway, I created this very simple, very timeless kind of look for Valentine's Day. I kept the eyes very simple, but I paired it with this beautiful red glossy lip. It was very easy to create, and if you would like to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. Oh, but before we get into this video, I'm going to tell y'all a million times, like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let me know what you guys would like to see in future videos. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So just to save some time, I already went ahead and did my brows off camera. I filled them in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I also just put a little bit of powder. I used Cyprus Umber from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. Same thing as, you know, my eyebrow routine. If you would like to see how I do my brows, I definitely have a brow routine, and I will link it down below. So definitely go ahead and check that out. But let's just go ahead and get started on the face. So to start off with, I do want to prime. And for primer today, I am going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. While I do our eyes, I would like the primer to set in the face while we do this. So just get a little bit, you know, apply it to the T-zone of the face because that's where I get the oiliest and where my makeup tends to move the most. And I'm just going to put a little bit on our eyes, just a little bit, whatever's left over, and boom. Just going to let that sit while we do our eye makeup. So for eyes, I am going to be concealing first. I am going to be using my Hourglass. I don't really know what the name of this is. I just know it's the Hourglass concealer in the shade Beech. And I'm going to be taking this and I'm going to apply this to my lid just to conceal my little veins. Because, you know, I'm like, what the hell? You know, I'm light skin, light braid, all that and above. And just take a flat brush or any brush that you would like and just go ahead and blend that out. I am going to be using my Wet n Wild flat brush along with my Morphe M173 brush to just go ahead and blend that out further. But I just wanted to go ahead and spread this around. And now we're just gonna go ahead and really blend that out. Okay, and to set that powder, I am gonna be using my Mercier translucent powder. Look, y'all, this powder is literally everything. If you don't have it, if you haven't tried it by now, what are you doing with yourself? Go get it. It's definitely worth the money. I really don't even remember how much it is. I think it's like maybe 35, not quite sure, but whatever. So we're just gonna tap a little bit of that translucent powder onto the lids just to set that concealer so that it doesn't move once we put our eyeshadow on. And again, this eyeshadow look is super simple. We're just gonna be using maybe about 3 shadows and some liner, and that's literally it. So to start with my transition color, I am going to be using my Morphe E27 brush. And I'm going to be going into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette. And I'm going to be taking these 2 shades here, Yawker and OG. Just mixing those 2 together. And I'm going to put that into my crease. It doesn't have to be too precise because, like I said, we are only going in with 3 shadows. Again, on the other eye, same thing. Super quick and super simple. And honestly, this eye look you can pair with any lip that you want because of the fact that it's so neutral. You could pair it with the red, you could pair it with the dark berry, you could pair it with a nude. It'll look just as fine. Trust me, you can do this look for pretty much anything. So like, what's new with you guys? Like, how you guys been doing? What are your plans for Valentine's Day? If you have any, I will say this year for me has really been a very interesting year because I normally don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Like, it's not my thing. If you know me, then you know I was literally the one going around school like, I'm popping balloons. Oh, you have balloons? Pop. You have balloons? Pop. I didn't like Valentine's Day. I hated it. But now that you know I got me a little boo or whatever, you know, I love Valentine's Day. So why not get cute? You feel me? So what are you guys doing? What are your plans? And if your plans are like what I used to do every year to pop everybody's balloon, please wear a face mask as you do so. Getting back to the look, I am going to go into my BH Cosmetics Daisy Marquez palette. And I'm going to be taking this color here. It's called Naked. And any sort of like peachy nude that you have will work just fine. It doesn't have to be this specific shade. But I am going to be taking that on a Sigma, I think this is an E60 brush. Any sort of flat, you know, type of brush that you have will be just fine. And we're going to take that shadow and put it onto our lids, just to add a little bit more light there against the shadows that we just used. So like, I just really want to know something. Like, I really want to know how you guys are doing. I haven't been on here in a while. I know, like I said in the beginning, please don't kill me, okay? It's been quite interesting for me, but now that I am, you know, getting back into the swing of things, I would like to know like what you guys would like to see, you know, like send me some suggestions, like let me know, because I want to make sure I get some content out there that you guys really want as well, and not just stuff that I want to put out, you know what I'm saying? Side note, I'm going back into my Amrezy palette, and I'm going to be taking those two shades that we used previously onto a MAC 217 brush, just to really add some depth back into the eye, some shadow in the outer corner, and that's pretty much it that we're going to be doing for this eye. Keep that color right in the crease and in the outer corner, because you don't really want to go over the shadow that you just put down. You really want to kind of keep that light. Again, I'm going to take that shadow, that naked shadow, one more time, and I'm just going to pat it in onto my lid again. And that's it. That's literally it for the eyes. Like I told you, super simple, not too much, really just blending. And like I said, you don't have to just wear this look for Valentine's Day. Like I said, I was not the one who celebrated Valentine's Day. I was popping everybody's balloons. But, you know, if you want to look cute, you want to snatch, you know, somebody's wig on a Wednesday, why not snatch somebody's wig on a Wednesday with a nice wing? Come on now. So for liner, I am going to be taking my NYX matte liquid liner. This is literally the best liner. I don't know what happened to, was it NYX? No, not NYX, NYC. I think it was an NYC liquid liner. I don't know what happened to that freaking liner, but it's gone. Like, they discontinued it. So this one is just as good. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do a simple wing. I'm going to have to speed this part up because I can't talk when I'm doing a wing. I need to focus, okay? So I will be right back with my liner. If you would like an in-depth liner tutorial, I can do that for you. It is going to be a voiceover though, because like I said, I cannot talk. Like, I can barely talk now, if we're being honest. But like I said, I'm just going to go ahead, do my liner off camera, and I will be right back. Whew. Okay, so we are back. I have lined my eyes. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and line my eyes first was because I would like to not mess up my foundation, and I would like to clean up my liner just a little bit on the sides. If you would like to make your liner a lot bigger, please be my guest, go ahead. I don't trust myself enough to do that, so I'm gonna leave it as this. I don't know if you can see. We're gonna leave that there, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to our face. So as we did before, we already primed with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and now I'm going to be going in with the NARS, what is this, Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Syracuse. And I am going to be applying that with my Morphe Beauty Sponge. I'm going to take a couple pumps on the back of my hand, like Thor. I am going to go ahead and just apply this to my skin and blend it out with my beauty sponge. Now, there's still some spaces on my face that don't have any foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with that same brush I used to blend out my concealer under my eyebrows. I'm going to be using my M173 brush from Morphe. And I'm just going to take a little bit of foundation on this brush. And I am just going to put it in those places like on the sides of my nose that are super hard to reach and above my brows so that there's even coverage everywhere. And before I like set my brows, I do my brows obviously, but before I set my brows, I like to go in with the rest of my face first so that any blending that may get on my brows will be as natural as possible and it won't get stuck to the gel that I have on my brows. Okay, so boom. Now for concealer, I'm going to be going in with my Hourglass concealer in the shade Beech. Again, the same powder that I used, the same concealer that I used to conceal my eyes before shadow. And I'm just going to take that underneath my eyes, on my forehead, bridge of my nose, upper lip, in my chin. And I'm going to go ahead and can I speak today? I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with my beauty blender. But before I blend that out, I am going to be spraying a little bit of this Milani Make It Last setting spray. It's up to 16-hour wear. So I'm going to do is I'm going to spray that on my beauty blender. And where's my fan? Oh, where's my fan? Hold on, be right back. I need my fan. And I'm just gonna let that concealer kind of set onto my face a little bit. Just let it dry just a little bit so that it can have a little bit more coverage. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with my beauty sponge. Now, again, with that same brush, I am going to just wipe off some of the foundation that I had onto my Morphe brush. And I'm just going to blend again in these hard to reach areas. And I am going to, ooh, I need a different brush, hold on. I am going to be taking my Wet n Wild brush again, and I'm just going to pick up some of that concealer and really just clean up the sides of my makeup. Just like that. All right, so once you already have all of that blended, I am going to now go in with some powder. Actually, I'm tripping. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toast, and I'm gonna go ahead and contour my nose because what is air? I don't want to breathe. We all know this. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that concealer onto the back of my hand, and I am going to be taking this LA Colors. I don't really know what kind of brush to call this, but it fits really perfectly on the sides of my nose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna pat it off a little bit, so that it's not too harsh, and I'm gonna go ahead and start to contour my nose. And make sure that you take that color up into your eyebrow. Just a little bit underneath my lip here, just to add a little bit of definition. I am gonna leave the sides, like my cheekbones and stuff alone, because I kind of don't like to cream contour my cheekbones that much anymore. It just doesn't do it for me. So Now that we have that laid down, I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender, but on the other side, and I'm just going to kind of blend out that darker color just a little bit. Just a little bit on the sides, just to make it less harsh. And then I'm gonna go in with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard. And I'm gonna use this shade here to highlight this sides of my nose, bring it in a little bit, and accentuate that contour just a little bit more. You don't want to use it too much because it's no need. And boom. Now we're just gonna take that beauty blender or my Morphe sponge one more time and just blend out that highlight shade. Now, just to bring it all back together, I'm gonna take that same brush. It should be not as much product on it anymore. And we're just going to kind of go back in and refill in those shadows just a little bit. And one more time, we're just gonna go over it again. And it's okay if it doesn't look like super contoured right now, because we're gonna go back in with a powder contour later. But for the meantime, I am gonna go ahead and set my under eyes and the rest of my face and where I highlighted. And to set the rest of my face, I am going to be again using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put it on the cap. And take my beauty blender, kind of dip in there and apply it to my face. I do not like to bake. I just like to really press the powder into my face with my beauty sponge. I am gonna go ahead and set the nose, the forehead, sides of my nose. Do not forget those, please, ladies. Do not, or gents, please do not forget that area. I'm gonna set my smile lines here. And I am also going to kind of, you know, set underneath of where I'm planning to contour. And a little bit over where I'm planning to contour, just so that the powder doesn't stick too hard to my face. So now I'm gonna go in with my powder contour, and to do so, I am gonna be taking my Fenty Beauty Islanding bronzer, and I'm gonna be taking that on my Morphe M527 brush. Just gonna swirl in there and apply to my cheekbones. And for my nose contour, to finish that off as well, I am going to be taking my Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage 16-Hour Wear Powder Foundation in the shade Coconut 355. And I am going to be taking that again on this LA Colors brush, same brush that I used to contour. And I'm just going to lightly powder contour my nose. All right, so boom. Now we have our nose contour finished. We have our face contour done. And, oh, wait a minute, y'all, we looking good. We looking good. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to go ahead and move on to finishing our eyes. So for mascara today, I am going to be using my They're Real by Benefit mascara. All right, so now that I have mascara at my top lashes, I'm just gonna let those dry a little bit, and I'm going to pick out the lashes that I want to wear today. All right, so I am going to be taking, they're not in the case, but I am going to be taking these lashes. I believe these are the, already know what style these are. If I can find out what they are, I will put them in the description box below. I do believe I got them from the beauty supply store. It's where I get 90% of my lashes, because who doesn't get their lashes from the beauty supply store? So yeah, I'm going to be taking these lashes. I believe they're in the style Kayla. I just cannot remember the brand offhand. And I'm going to be applying those with my House of Lashes lash glue. Guys, this is the best lash glue you will ever try. Trust and believe. Best lash glue ever. I'm going to go ahead and apply these to my eyes, and I will be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and applied my lashes off camera. I did stab myself in the eye, which is why I can't do this on camera. But now that we're going to go ahead and continue, I am going to be taking a small detailed brush, if I can find it. So this is the Sigma Pencil E30 brush. Any sort of small pencil brush that you have will work just fine. And I'm going to be taking my Amrezy palette and those two colors that we used in our crease. I'm going to be mixing those two again, and I'm going to apply it underneath my eye here. Not too much, just enough to add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of shadow, and same for the other eye. Now we have that little pop of color underneath our eyes. Now we can move on to blush and highlighter. Yes, my favorite part. And I want to keep this look pretty gold, so I'm going to be just taking a little bit of this coral peach color. Again, everything that I'm using will be linked down below, trust and believe, or listed. I'm just going to apply a little bit of blush onto my face just to bring a little bit of color back. Boom, just like so. And then I'm going to be taking my Morphe M510 brush, and I'm going to be using my Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold, OG Goodie. And I'm just going to be applying that to the high points of my cheekbones. So to apply the highlighter onto my nose, I am going to be taking this Morphe E17 brush. It's even smaller. And I'm just going to apply that onto the point of my nose, the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin, and I'm going to be taking this a little bit underneath the brow bone here. Not all the way around, but just right in the center. And going back in with that same brush that we used for our transition shade, we're just going to go ahead and blend that out like so. Boom, we are done with the face. Just going to go ahead and set it with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. Whew. Let that dry. I like to set my face now before I do my under eye mascara, so that way my under eye doesn't smudge, because Jesus, I hate that. Just need a little bit more. Hold on. Gotta make sure that face is set. Ooh, it's cold. It's cold as shit. So now we can go ahead and move on to the star of the show, which is the lips. I am going to be using this NYX Red Tape lip liner. And I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips. All right, so now that I have my lips lined, I am going to be going in with a liquid lipstick. This is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Outlaw. And I'm going to apply this starting in the center. All right, so you can always just leave it at this, you know, this nice matte color, but I am not a matte person. I do not like matte lipsticks. I do not like matte liquid lipsticks. I will always top it off with a gloss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Kat Von D. Jesus Christ, I could not talk today. I'm going to be taking the Kat Von D, what is this? Vinyl Lip Cream in the shade Tulip. I feel like my lips are glossy, but they're not glossy enough. So with that being said, yeah, so since it's not necessarily glossy enough for me, I am going to be going and getting a clear gloss, so I will be right back. So now I have my clear gloss. Just gonna go ahead and top that off. That right there, oh boy, that's a lit, bitch. That's a lit. Okay, so now we can go ahead and finish off the rest of our eyes. I am going to be taking my NARS Climax mascara because I love this mascara for my bottom lashes. Just gonna go ahead and coat those. All right, so now we have finished the makeup. I'm just gonna go ahead and put my outfit on and I will be right back. All right, so we're back. I just went ahead and put on my jewelry. I think that this look is just so beautiful. I feel like the lip is just, it is what it is, baby. You need this lip in your life. Kat Von D has some really good lip products. I'm not very picky with reds. I actually don't think I've worn reds since like high school, and I just graduated college. So that should let you know how long it's been since I've worn red, but I love it. I do think that I'm gonna end up wearing this look for Valentine's Day. I'm not sure yet, but if you guys like this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, subscribe, let me know what you guys, Jesus. Let me know what you guys would like to see next on my channel. I'm always open to suggestions. Of course, follow me on my Instagram down below and my Twitter if you would like to get in touch with me. And yeah, if you do recreate this look, definitely tag me, definitely show me, because I would really like to see it. And yeah, with that being said, bye you guys. I will see you next time for my next video.